Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. The beginning here, the first card that we have out is, it's got number 44 associated with it, and it's foundational to what's coming through for you guys is this sense of what are you willing to sacrifice yourself for, and exactly how much are you willing to sacrifice yourself in order to protect, maintain, cling to. It's possibly something from your past that seemed very innocent. It could be some aspect of yourself as well that you feel very protective of. It seems there's like a youth to it, an innocence, but there's also a sense of interreliance, some kind of codependency. And this could be something that is genuinely this exact presentation, but there can be more of a shadow aspect to it where it's a challenge to learn and grow and see through the dynamic. Is this something that you have been willing to sacrifice yourself beyond your own endurance for? And thus it is a dynamic that will continue to come up in your life because it's a challenge to heal. When you sacrifice so much of your own energy, your own time, your own focus to the point that it is detrimental to you in order to protect some aspect outside of yourself or within yourself, the question then becomes, is that really what it appears to be? Is that the truth of it? Or is this something that can be looked at from other angles, or are you open to transmuting this? However this may specifically ground in for the individuals tuning in, this is a challenge. This is foundational to your foundation, core to the challenge of this reading. So let's go a little bit deeper here and see what comes through. So we had quite a few come out at once. There's a lot that your spirit team has to say here. So the overarching is there is some kind of a filter that is over how you view the world. It's between you and reality, and it's a filter through which you see. Thus it distorts your perception of the reality. Now in the particular image, it is another individual who is deciding what you see. They are the filter through which you view the world. This could be another aspect of yourself, your shadow self, your wounded self. It can be a projection from outside of you that you are experiencing. And there's this desire to write your story through this filter. Not necessarily your desire, but this other energy's desire. This can definitely tie in to the reading that I posted yesterday. For those of you that this is resonating with, there could be more information in that reading for you that can really help you to understand a bit more about dynamics that may be present, to help you feel empowered, to help you understand that you're not powerless in this dynamic at all. And that is validated here with this ascension, this rising above card, that you believe in magic. You had like the faith of a mustard seed. That inner child in you believed that the world could still surprise you. So you still believed in magic, in essence. And you were willing to follow that light. You were willing to set in those routines, those structures. This is you choosing to do this. And overlaying it is this energy that chooses to try to be the narrator of your story and direct to you how you perceive your reality. But you have not only ascended above this chaos, you're aware of it, thus you are ascended above it. If you were unaware that it was an illusion, then you would still be in it, believing it all to be real and true. But you've ascended above this. And there are others that will be attracted to your light because they're now aware, because you have shown that it is an illusion. The moment they come in contact with you, with your experience, your intelligence, your light, your having risen above, they become aware that they're an illusion as well. And all of those routines, those rituals, the intention you have where you give your focus, the way that you go about your day, the spirit and the belief and the things that you know to be true, all of these things can help them find the way. And even if they only take one or two of the things from you, it's helped them. It's their free will. It's their choice. It's what resonates with them. But they're attracted to your light because they know that you hold some answer, possibly, that can help them. Because this energy that was being that filter between you and reality, that was distorting how you perceived it, that was directing your life for you, in becoming aware of that, you've reclaimed all that power, and now you see clearly. The skies are clear. You can read the stars. You can pick up on the subtle energies in everyday things around you. Even if it's not conscious that you're aware, this apparently means that, apparently means this. Our brains are incredible. There's so much that we are aware of subconsciously at all times that consciously our brain decides we don't need to know these things. We only need to know X, Y, and Z. You're more aware of these things. Even if you're not aware of the specific thing, there's like a sense of, say you have a field around you. Let's just say most people have a field around them of about 10 feet that they're aware of. Everything, temperature, sounds, fluctuations in pressure. Say, you're in an apartment building, your brain is aware that someone moved on the other side of that wall, or they made a sound, but your brain goes, you don't need to know that. They're not technically in your space. They don't have access to you. You don't need to be aware of that. Let's focus on how you're feeling here and now. What is the temperature right here in the space here? Do you need a blanket? Are you hungry? These kinds of things. It prioritizes. Your field, now that this filter has been removed from your sight, you are seeing the world more clearly, so it's snapping into focus more and more and more and more. So your awareness is expanding beyond 10 feet to 20, to 30, to 50, to 100. And, however farther out it may be, and it may transcend time, space. Either way, you are narrating your story now. You are seeing this clearly, and you're deciding how you want to lead your life. And you're aware that you're not alone in this because you're connected to more of you. You're connected to the wiser aspects of yourself, like the oversoul, the higher self, the future self. You're aware now because that was blocking you from seeing this clearly is just gone. It's not there anymore. You are able to be in complete partnership with all of these energies and directing your life. And knowing that you can rely on them because you still believe that the world could surprise you. And so the world did. And this world, really what we perceive of the world is from our own view, our own experience. So how we view the world really exists within us. So all of this is happening deeply within inside of you. And now you get to experience the world mirroring this back to you. You get to experience a little more magic in life. You're going to be surprised more. And you're grounding that into this reality. How beautiful it is to have that relationship with other energies of you, other lifetimes, other aspects of yourself that are 100% at your back. So with this, what are you willing to sacrifice of yourself to maintain, keep, protect? What are you going to do with this aspect? This is foundational to the reading, and you're in a state of metamorphosis right now because you're having to assess. Now, you're like, okay, well, now that I see everything clearly, what really was I sacrificing for? What really was I struggling to protect? What did I go without for? What did I walk over hot coals for? You're like, how does this filter that is no longer here, how did that distort my perception of this thing that I was willing to sacrifice for? Now that it's gone, what is it truly? So the metamorphosis is being applied as foundational because this has a ripple effect within you and how you view everything. However subtly it may impact things such as your job or, like your friendships, whatnot, finances, it will have an impact. It will have an impact because I'm hearing very clearly money is something that is an emotional experience. Finances and money are very emotional experiences. If we're bummed or we're sad or we're down or we're lonely, we might go shopping. We might go get something like a treat for us, like some ice cream or something. How are you going to see the ripple effect of this filter having been removed from how you see reality, how you perceive it? So you're going to be changing a lot of these things and assessing, like, do I really have anything to give if I don't have anything on my own table? Can you really give to others if you don't have anything yourself? So you're recognizing the value in that you must take care of you, and only then can you give to others. It's the concept that is so true, and it's resonated with me for quite some time, and I believe that you guys will also feel the truth within this, the love, the light within it, and thus that connects us all, which is the greatest gift that you can give to others is your best self. If you show up to the party and you're tired, you're hungry, and thus you're crabby and you're cranky and possibly a little hangry, you're not going to be the best company. And you're going to be aware of that, and it's going to make you feel worse because they're not going to enjoy your company. You don't even enjoy your company then. So if you take the time to make sure you're well rested, because you take care of that ritual, you go to bed at the same time, you wake up at the same time, you make sure that you have adequate food so you're not hangry. So when you show up to that party, you're ready to socialize. You're in if worst case scenario, you're in a neutral state. So if the other people are in higher spirits, you will likely rise to be in higher spirits too. But you won't be the Debbie Downer of the group, in other words, because you have taken care of yourself enough to have that present, to be in that energy, for that interaction in that space. And I know that term can be somewhat triggering, as we've kind of all experienced at some point someone implying or labeling us with a similar title or implying that we were in that space, that energy. And it's not a good place to be. But now you have that filter removed from your view, and in this reassessment, you're discovering how many beliefs that you did not realize you have that are actually false, because that filter was having you view life through the lens that it wanted you to see things, not the way that things were. So you're going to be encountering things in your life now that will contradict these beliefs. And they can be really small and they can be really big, but you're going to be encountering these things, and you're going to observe that you actually don't believe these things. that you don't actually feel these things, that even if someone is behaving poorly, you don't believe that you have to give to that. You can be that pebble that the water just flows around. You can observe what's going on and know more for doing so, but you're not giving to it. You're not engaging. You're not reacting. And thus you don't get swept away in the water of it. The chaos of whatever this individual or energy is doing that would, in the past, sweep you up within it. And it'll cause you to reflect a little bit more on your past and be like, whoa, so that was really what was going on, and this is how I would handle it now, and I didn't perceive that then. And you might have some self-forgiving to kind of go through, because you didn't know that you had this happening to you. You had no idea. If you had known or felt that you were, to know is first. Like, you can't solve an issue if you don't know there is an issue. And you can't remove a problem if you don't necessarily have the skills or the tools to be able to do so, even if you do know it's there. But it's the start, is to know. And you knew, and you started to do this work, and that filter is removed. And because of that, there are possibly deep-seated, this particular card is a lot of the experiences that you probably have encountered caused you to fear shining, to fear standing out, because whenever you stood out, you would then become very aware of any of the critical or negative thoughts, feelings, or emotions that other individuals were having in response to you shining. So you possibly have a little bit of fear of this abundance that's been locked within you, and letting it out, because in the past, meaning before this, you would get swept up in that chaos. And now, because that filter is removed from your perception, you can observe and not be swept away in it. And everything that happened in your past was, on this end of it, to an extent, you're able to empathize with those that are caught up within the current. You're able to understand and see and know from personal experience, not just mirroring, like mirror neuron having that neurological reaction within you to their emotional state, but having lived it yourself. There is so much wisdom within you because of this challenge that you have overcome. There's so much you're learning now, that you're gleaning now. And that would then move you into this space of being this mirror for those that are still caught up in this space, that still have that filter over their eyes that is distorting how they view the world and how they interact with it and their role within it, and how they feel, and how they should feel about themselves within this world that is false. It has so many layers of illusion to it. It's not that you would stand on your soapbox and start preaching to the world. It's more, you can teach others by just being a loving mirror. You don't necessarily go to the grocery store thinking, I'm going to teach the cashier. You're just doing your day. You're just doing your I gotta buy this and I gotta get that and I'm gonna make this later, so I better not forget this ingredient. Your mind is not on being a loving mirror for people everywhere you go and changing lives. You find yourself at that checkout. And you can kind of sense that there's a little something going on, or that they're a little like tired or bored. It's like the end of their shift and they just want to leave. And I mean, who can't relate to that? We can all see that in somebody's body language. So you take that moment and you're like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can make this person smile. I'm going to see if I can bring them out of that mind space, because I didn't like being in that mind space either. So if I can get them to smile, great. I'm going to do that. So you take that step and you're nice and you're you maybe try to crack a joke or something, and their spirits are lifted, not because of you. It's because they saw themselves in you, and it inspired them to enjoy their experience more because they were interacting with someone that allowed them to be in that side of themselves. And it's so superficial. It could be really small. It could be a tiny little thing, and you could make somebody's day, completely make their day. So it's even little interactions like that, that you can be this loving mirror for other people. It could go even deeper, depending on the level of your, intuitive awareness, your level of, I'll just say it, your level of psychic awareness. You may be aware that you're in telepathic communication with other individuals, that maybe you're aware of other individuals in a collective that are of your level, where you kind of have conversations. So you're affecting whole groups of people and being a loving mirror for people you've never even met, let alone talked to. So on even that level, how you move through your day and they observe how you move through your day, especially when you specifically focus on communicating with them, even if you're in a passionate state of communicating with them, because, hey, don't be like this to yourself. It's not fair. Like, maybe you're having a conversation with them about where they're sacrificing themselves too much. I mean, admittedly, it's going to be something that's more energetic versus English. It's not. It's going to be a different way of communicating. But that is a very deep way of communicating with another intelligent being, another human being that's going through something. And you're modeling, you're being that mirror. They're able to see themselves in you. They're able to learn from you. As you learn things, they can then learn with you. That level of connection. So it's very small, subtle things to really big things that we don't really understand, but we know we're experiencing. There's a sense that, there are questions. There are individuals tuning in that feel, even though they are having these experiences, they are resonating with some of the things that are, here present in this reading. They feel isolated in it because they don't have another person in their world that is going through it too. And I don't mean that it invalidates the connection and the telepathic communication to the collectives that are learning from one another as they unlock knowledge. The example that is being brought to mind for that is how they have recorded monkeys that are on different islands, right? One learns how to do X or Y or Z, and there's no way for them to communicate with one another, but suddenly the one over here on the other island, isolated from it, suddenly learns how to do it too. And then this one figures it out, and the first one that figured it out is like, oh, well, you like learned a new way of making this more efficient. Well, as soon as that happens, the other one does it. So it's kind of like spooky action at a distance, quantum entanglement. You're not alone in this experience, but there is an emotional desire as a human being, as a biological mammal, that we are wired as social beings. We are wired to have that connection. So something this big, something this fundamental to your experience, not having it be validated in your physical experience may be a blessing. If you're willing to look at it from another perspective, how would that impact you? If you had another individual say to your face everything that you know that's going on, that they're experiencing their own unique way of experiencing it too. how would that impact you? How would that make you feel? How would that shift things? Would you find that instead of experiencing validation, that maybe you might end up feeling like you're having your leg pulled? I mean, these are just questions that now that you have this filter removed from your eyes, how would that actually play out for you? And if the answer is that it would legitimately make you feel more at peace, make you feel like you're not the only one, it's not just something that you hear about in readings like this, it's not like a group hallucination, it's you and someone you trust who's like, hey, you're not alone in this. I'm going to tell you some things that only you would know. And then they do. Like that will have a very big impact. That may make you feel like everything from your past that didn't make sense anymore, now from this new view, like everything that you have been holding on to with that question mark of like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure, am I a little unhinged, am I a little crazy? And I'm going to say right now, crazy people don't know they're crazy. So if you're questioning whether or not you're crazy, you're not. You're sane enough to ask the question. So all of those feelings will just be, you know, they'll burn. It's the phoenix fire of it. It'll be turned to ash. It'll just blow away on the wind. And you get left with the truth of it for you, and however that is for you. Because we are all unique. Every single one of us has a unique perspective. And we're all needed to make up this symphony. You have done this work to be able to help others find their voice, their instrument of choice, if you will, in the band, in the symphony, to help them figure out how to play the notes, how to move their fingers to pluck the strings, or how to hit the drums. You're helping them find their way because you found yours. You're not dictating to them their way. You're leaving the question for them to answer, but you know the question to ask. And that's where the help is. And aside from, I feel in this moment that words are somewhatly restricting. I do hope that the image that this reading is presenting is helping you to find some peace, some calm within yourself, to know that you're capable of transforming how you choose to see the world now. You get to write the narrative. And you get to feel loved and proud of yourself. Like, to love yourself and be proud of yourself allows others to love you and be proud of you. But it has to begin within you, because you're above these illusions now. And it's because you're willing to surrender them. Surrender as in, you're not going to focus. You're willing to not focus on that energy that sought to keep you in a constant state of illusion. You're willing to surrender that because you're like, I am so excited about where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be experiencing. I get to enjoy life. I get to experience all the things that bring me pleasure. From food to adventure to excitement to environments to individuals to projects. Like, it just goes on. You get to enjoy life. And that energy is not like you're surrendering it. You're not giving any more to it. It's like you're literally the super empath that just, oh, I'm free. I'm free. I am leaving this dynamic because I like me. I love me. You can let that confusion fall away. And there's a final message here. The final message is, enjoy the wisdom, rediscovering the wisdom found in being at play. While you create, it's play, enjoy. Sit in that like inner child aspect and kind of giggle when things end up working out and they surprise you, and then you're like, oh, are they going to add this? I'm going to do this and I'm going to try that. And wow, that was so cool. All right, I want to do this again, but I want to change this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. Learning the wisdom found within play in creation. So beautiful. And this is the collective reading for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you wanted to have some access to some guided meditations for working with the subconscious, there's a link for Insight Timer, my teacher profile. There's also a course that I offer there that is designed to assist you and help you work with your subconscious and kind of reclaiming that aspect and working with the shadow work of that. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.